Welcome to the Palette Talks podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Palette Talks podcast. This is your host, Jason, and today I am very excited to be joined by a very special guest. It is Raven Rapid. How are you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine as well. It's good to hear you, man.
Yeah, dude, you too. It's good to chat finally.
Yeah, so for the people who are listening to the podcast right now and they have not known you yet, maybe you can do some little introduction for them.
Yeah, my name's Raven Rapid. I'm from Perth in Western Australia. I make lo-fi, down-tempo mood music. I try to capture various moods in the music that I write. I keep it pretty short and chill, instrumental.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So you're based in Perth.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, I'm from Indonesia, so we're quite close, I guess.
Yeah, not far, not far. Where in Indonesia are you from?
I'm from Jakarta.
Oh, awesome. Yep, I know Jakarta.
Yeah. You've been here?
I haven't before, no. I've got some friends who live in Malaysia, though, so I'd like to do a whole trip of that region.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So what have you been doing lately, man?
Man, just making lots of music. I try to put out a beat every day or two. It keeps me pretty busy. That and watching Game of Thrones at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch the second episode?
Yeah, I did, dude.
There's not much going on, but
it's all build up. It's all about what's going to happen in the next episode.
Exactly. Yeah, so I saw that you just released your latest music, Jet Alone. Is that right?
Yeah, it's just a little instrumental jam that I made.
So I have this one question that I've been just stuck in my mind, and I've always wanted to ask this to you. But why do you add a dot to your track name? Is there any particular reasons why you're doing this?
It started originally as an stupid homage to an anime series called Dot Hack. The way they format their logo is dot hack / sign or Legend of the Twilight or whatever the series is. And I always just liked the appeal of it, and that series was kind of influential to me when I was really young. So I liked putting that in as a slight little nod to it.
Oh yeah, I've heard that, but I've not watched the series yet. Is that an anime movie or a series?
It's a series. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different versions of it, but the one that I saw when I was really young was Dot Hack Sign, which going back on now is quite slow, but at the time it was a really cool experience to watch as a kid.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So we're gonna go with a flashback. What's your story? So how do you get started to produce your music?
And it depends, really. Some days I'm just inspired and I want to sit down and write melodies and just save them and put them away. Other days I just feel like I can put a whole track out. But generally my process starts with getting a melody together, whether it's comprised of a few cut up samples or a sample with some original stuff behind it, or just an original composition entirely, whatever I'm feeling on the day, and then kind of building on it from there.
Yeah. So when did you start to produce? How many years ago?
Well, not really. I mean, about last year, I started learning how to do how to use Ableton. I've been a musician most of my life, but I've never really delved into the production side of things until last year. So I kind of got my head around it for a while, practiced making a few things, but didn't put anything out. And then this year I was like, there's no point just sitting on music. No one's ever going to hear it. I'm never going to be able to express myself if I don't at least put it out. I got to stop being so hard on myself and just get tracks out. So I've spent the last 3 months kind of regularly putting stuff out, and it's been really fun. It's been a great experience. I've met a lot of really cool people. The lo-fi community is really welcoming. Everyone's so kind and ready to help each other. It's something I didn't expect.
Yeah. So it's been 3 months, right, since you start producing?
Since I've been putting stuff out about 3 months, yeah. So I was learning for about a year, just
So
trying to get my head around everything and like learn the program and get to a point with my music that I was like happy with the production level to actually put it
yeah,
out.
yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah. So what did you play? Like, what instruments do you play?
Guitar mostly. I learned guitar when I was like 13. I picked it up. I can play a bit of bass as well. I've been teaching myself piano more and more as I'm getting into producing, just because it translates so well into the music making process. And I can play a little bit of drums. Not
Hmm.
amazing at drums, but I'm getting better at writing drums for sure.
But yeah, as a producer, you gotta like be able to play different instruments, right? Like,
I think it definitely helps.
yeah,
Like, I
'cause-
mean, stuff like keys really translates to everything because, like, with VSTs and stuff these days, you can emulate just about any instrument and use like a keyboard setup to create whatever you want. But I think it definitely helps having like a fundamental understanding of an instrument because you know what sounds realistic and what doesn't.
yeah, yeah. But like, do you have any background on music, on musical theory and stuff like that?
Not extensively. Like I did a lot of music theory and stuff in high school, and
Oh,
I've played in a lot of bands throughout my life. But I've never like really been a big music theory person. I tend to
hmm.
just go by feel and how it sounds to my ear.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I know enough to get me by, but I definitely like I'd struggle compared to a lot of people.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I've been listening to your music lately, and I love it actually. There's a different
Cool,
vibe that's attached to it, and I always find it like really chill. And
cool.
but personally for you, like, what do you think makes your music sound different and original? Comparing it to other artists with their own style. Like, what is your style?
I like to kind of not blend too much in. Like I know I'm kind of amongst the lo-fi crowd, and I love that, and I like taking my influences from there. But I also kind of want to like to be clear in my music that like I listen to a lot of like there's a lot of classical influence, there's hip hop influence, there's like a bit of rock influence and stuff in there as well. And I think all that kind of comes together to help me stand out when it comes to capturing like a particular mood.
Mm,
I think yeah, I don't know. I think that I have an ability to like hone in on the way like a track is making me feel when I start writing it
mm.
and like expound upon that by what I add to it and kind of make it my own in that way and kind of capture a mood that a lot of music maybe can't.
Yeah, I think like emotions and your feelings and mood plays like a big part on producing, and as well as how the audience like perceive your music, how the audience listens to your music, like what they're feeling when they start to listen to your music.
Yeah.
And everyone has got their own different opinions, right, on the music they're listening to.
Hmm.
But when you start producing, like, have you ever thought like, what do you want your audience to feel? Like, do you want them to be happy or cry, or just what kind of feeling that you want like your audience to feel when they're listening to your
This
music?
definitely depends on the songs, you know. Some songs I think are definitely more skewed towards like a kind of sadder vibe and stuff, but I also think some of them kind of hit like a warm, nostalgic place as well. Like I don't necessarily want to make music that like people are gonna hear and then be sad, but maybe the type of music that you could put on while sad to kind of like understand that mood or like relate to like how that emotion feels in like a sonic way.
Yeah, yes. So you've always got different vibes, right, on each of your songs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think everyone's kind of entitled to their own interpretation of it, you know, like I might write a song that I in my takeaway from it is that it's like quite a sad tune and that it makes me feel this way. But like I'll talk to someone else and they're like, oh yeah, it reminded me of this when I was a kid and like made me feel how good. I'm like, that's cool. Like I like that art in general, but music especially, and especially when it's instrumental, people can kind of interpret it in their own way. You know, like it doesn't really matter.
Mm.
It doesn't really matter so much what I wanted people to experience from it. People are gonna no, have their own takeaway from it no matter what. And I'm kind of more interested in finding out what those are.
Yeah, I think like one thing that has been interesting about the lo-fi music is that many of lo-fi music they don't have vocals on it, right? So
Mm.
mostly they are instrumentals, and it's always been part like of an identity towards lo-fi music, even though I think there are amazing lo-fi vocal music as well out there. But yeah, I think like when you have it instrumentals, people can just have different feelings when they're listening to it, even if it's the same song. Like listening to it in the morning and listening to it like before going to bed can feel different.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally depends on what kind of mindset like you're in when you listen to the music, you know. Sometimes it'll enhance something or sometimes it'll like make you feel something entirely different. But yeah, it's totally up to this now.
Yeah, yeah. So as a musician, right, you've always had those moments where you feel super creative, right?
Yeah.
You get tons of ideas, tons of
Yeah.
imagination, right? And
Hmm.
and in the other hand, you get all those moments where you're just stuck and you just don't know what to think, what to make. Have you ever had those moments?
Absolutely. I mean, I think everyone who's kind of creative hits some kind of wall at some point, whether it's just like a bit of writer's block or you burn out on something that you're doing that you've been working on for a while. I think we all experience that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like it sucks to, for me, like burning out. It's a natural thing, right? Like I believe everyone has got their own limits
Yeah.
in the way they deal with their own stuffs, But it sucks when you feel tired and stressed, like you feel pressured to
Mm.
do the very things that you love to do. Like
Yeah.
you know, you know, it's that you love to do that, but just somehow, some way, you just cannot do it at that particular moment,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
sometimes it frustrates me, especially with creating content, even for me, even if I'm not a producer. And I know it must be tougher as a producer to feel that way.
I mean, I think it's just as tough for any creative, really. Like, it's frustrating to hit that wall, and it's even more frustrating when it's something that you initially did as a release to like ease the tension or anxiety in your life, and then it kind of becomes a point where it's like I'm too stressed out to even do the thing that would chill me out. Like maybe that's going to cause me more stress. Like that's a very awkward predicament to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully agree with that. Like it just happens, but it's life. You just gotta go moving forward and yeah, just keep on producing content, keep on producing music, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something to be said for forcing yourself through it sometimes, but at the same time, like I think that like it's totally natural to take a break. You know, like if you're hitting that wall because you're working yourself to exhaust, like take some time for yourself. Like you're not gonna lose your audience over not posting for a few days or something, you know. I think and like the people who you do lose in that time aren't necessarily gonna be people who were really there to support you to begin with. And the people who do care about you and your content, regardless of whether or not you're posting constantly, are gonna be like following still and they're going to want
Yeah,
to check
yeah.
in with you and you know you're still going to
Mm.
retain those people like actually care.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean it can be helpful to force yourself through stuff even if it's just like even if you don't post the content you make, like try something new with your creative side. Like for musicians, maybe try delving into a new genre.
Yeah.
Like it
But like
never it never hurts.
yeah, but like do you have like a work ethic? Like you want to produce a certain amount of songs in a certain period, and do you have those kind of work ethic for you?
I don't really like put like super strict deadlines on myself for like what I'm doing. Like I'm working with other artists as well, so I have deadlines to work with on certain projects, which is great. I do like having something like that because it gives me like a time frame to get stuff done with it. But for my own stuff, like some songs I'll produce in like one sit down and then I'll chuck it up and like that's cool, that's good to go, that's a song for today. Some days I won't post anything, and then some days like I'll spend all day on the track only to not post it or maybe to post it. Like it totally varies for me. I'm really not consistent in how much time I put into it daily. I like to sit down at least once a day and put some time in and at least try to get something out.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's not always going to happen.
yeah. I think that's just the reality of it, right?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
you want to be like, you want to have that ideal schedule. You want to have that ideal discipline, but we're humans, right? We
Yeah,
got our own capabilities, and we have our own jobs to do. Maybe we
yeah,
got some stuff to do, some people to spend time with. So
yeah. There's always other stuff going on besides your work for music.
yeah. And by the way, like, how do you manage with your work-life balance?
I mean, I mostly just make music when I get home. Really,
Do you,
depends what I've been doing.
if you don't mind, like, are you doing this like as a side hustle, or you want to do this full time?
I mean, I'd love to do music related stuff full time. I'd love to get into that field, but it's just something I enjoy for the moment. Like, I like making music. I've always been like at a point where I've wanted to make something and put something out, but never really been in a position to do so. But having now gotten my head around being able to like produce my own stuff, like it's kind of opened up that realm of being able to put my own music out there regularly, which is like great. Like I honestly didn't even expect such a warm reaction from people when I first started posting stuff. I was like, this would be cool, this would be fun, like I'll be lucky to get 1,000 plays, but
Yeah.
who cares? Like I just want to put music out, that'll be cool, it'll be a nice little thing to do in my like free time. And yeah, like it's turned out a lot better than that. Like a lot of people have been really supportive of what I'm doing, seem to really care about the music or like relate to it, which is like entirely what I want for it. I want people to be able to have like an emotional resonance with my music.
Yeah.
So getting that's been absolutely incredible, like overwhelming even.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can personally feel the love from the lo-fi community, and I think like they're so supportive, like especially to producers and all the musicians and artists. Like many people, they just want to, produce music. They just want to do their own thing, but they don't realize that the people that they thought they won't care about their music, or the producers, right, turn out to give so much love, right, and
Yeah.
support, and it's always been. I'm always amazed by that fact. It's unreal.
Yeah, I think everyone's kind of, at least in this kind of subgenre of like electronic and hip hop and stuff, everyone's really about that kind of collaboration over competition mindset, Everyone's so willing to be like, yo, let's do a track together, or, give feedback on a mix or whatever it happens to be. Like, there are so many times where I've like had doubts on a song and I've like thrown it up to like a little group that I've got. And, like they've talked me through it, like give me some mixed feedback. I've gone and changed it, and I'm like way happier with it. But like just the amount of people who like comment nice things to each other in this little kind of circle, like it's lovely. Like it's so nice to see such genuine engagement from people in like a music community, especially on a format like Instagram, which like arguably isn't designed for music at all.
Yeah.
But there's still this like booming culture of like producers and artists and musicians and everything on that.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I think like, to be able to be surrounded by super positive people, and the people who are just so putting out their truth and just so honest and giving us this valuable feedback. Always, it's always, we gotta be grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't happen everywhere, not everyone's like super willing to provide like critical feedback or be honest with each other. It's a lot of superficiality, clout chasing, but it doesn't really seem like that. No one's really concerned with their like follower amount or anything. It's just like wants to put music out. It's wicked. I like that.
Well, now let's talk about collaboration. Um, are you planning to do some collaborations with other producers or artists?
I mean, I'm pretty open to it. I've got some stuff in the works with a really talented rapper who goes by the name Tack. You might have seen his stuff around. He's a great dude. I'm producing an EP for him at the moment, which has been a real challenge, but also like a lot of fun. And I've managed to I've been lucky enough to work with a few other artists in the few months that I've been posting stuff as well. Like I did a track for an artist named Lucid. I did a track with this Japanese artist named Tio, which was a lot of fun.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was rad. Like I'm pretty open to collab with most producers in our genre. Honestly, it's something that I really enjoy doing. I haven't really done like a lot of it yet, but definitely something I want to get into more.
Yeah, I think it will be amazing if I can see more of collaborations. I think like even you producing alone is already good. Like I think it's gonna even get better when you collab with just more amazing artists out there.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, I especially love working like different folks. Like like I'm having a dumb little competition for fun at the moment, just getting people to like rap over like a old school hip hop track that I made, and it's been awesome. Like getting submissions from like people in Norway and like America and stuff. It's just like it's wild seeing people like all over the globe who share this common interest. You know.
Yeah, I mean like in this digital era, I think like we're not limited by where we are anymore. Like
yeah, absolutely.
you're in Perth, I'm in Jakarta, and we can just have a real honest conversation, right? And you can just talk to someone in Norway or in Hong Kong. You know, it's unbelievable that we're
It's
connected
crazy.
by this one passionate community full of just passionate people, and just to be connected that way. It's just sometimes I just can't believe it, you know?
No, it's crazy, man. Like I think about that stuff quite often. There really is very little separation like between countries and stuff these days. You can kindle friendships with people halfway across the world and have a better relationship than with someone in your city half the time. It's just as easy to keep track of like talking to people. Most of it's done online these days anyway.
Yeah, totally, man. So um before we're gonna end this, I've one really serious, not a super serious question, but like in the future, who do you aspire to be? Like, how are you seeing yourself? How are you seeing Raven Rapid in the next like 5 years or 10 years? Do you have like a vision?
I honestly don't have like the biggest like vision for it. Honestly, like I've been so surprised by what's happened in the last 3 months in regards to like support and positive feedback that it's kind of blown my mind and made me realize that potentially there is like an opportunity to pursue this more. So like I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. You know, I just want to put music out regularly or like constantly. Even I want to write music that's gonna nail different moods that people can put on when they're on long road trips or going to sleep or hanging out with friends. Just something appropriate for everything, you know? Like I don't have any goals of being like famous or anything like that. Like it doesn't really interest me. I just kind of want to make music, you know? I want to make music that people can connect with. But as long as people are like telling me that like they felt something with the beats that I made, or like it like made them think about something from their past in a good way, or whatever it happens to be, whatever their interpretation is. As long as I keep getting that, like I'll keep making music. That's all I can ask for.
Wow, I love that mindset, man.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's great if you can make a music you're living. That's a really impressive and admirable goal. I'd love to be able to just make music for a living. I'd love to work in sound for a living. That'd be great. But at the same time, like it's something that I love doing. It's something that I love sharing with the world. It's a community that I love being a part of.
All right, that's cool. Before we ending this, let's play some games. Are you down for some games?
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna play this or that.
All right.
All right, this or that. Are you a morning person or a late night person?
Oh, late night, all the way.
Late night all the way. All right. Next one. Text messages or calls?
Or it depends. Text messages to get information across, but like I do love a phone call with my friends. They can be awkward with people you don't know, but like to catch up with people or like to have a good conversation, phone call is the way to go. But texting to get information across. So I'll go with that.
Fair enough. All right. Next one. Rain or snow?
Oh man, we don't get snow in Australia.
You,
Which
you got no snow in
sucks.
Australia?
There are like some very specific places that get it, like up in the mountains in winter. But as a
Ah.
whole, Australia, nah, pretty void of snow. I've only seen it like once in my life when I was in the UK. So I'm gonna have to go with snow because it's still got this like magical, mystical quality to it for me,
Yeah.
which everyone
Yeah.
tells me I'm dead wrong to have and tells me how gross snow can be. But it's still like really pretty and lovely in my mind. So I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, I thought like in Australia, the only thing I know about Australia having snows is that they have winter on like July. Is that true?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're on a whole different like hemisphere than you guys. So our
Yeah.
seasons are all totally reversed.
Yeah.
So we've just kind of come into autumn and stuff now.
Mm.
It's already
Yeah.
freezing.
All right. Next one. This one's pretty deep.
All right,
Money or fame? Money or fame?
money or fame? Or I mean,
Ooh.
I'll take the money if it's security. You know, set myself up, set my family up, set my friends up. Don't
Yeah.
have to worry about that. That'd be nice. Fame doesn't really interest me, man. I like being behind the scenes, you know.
All right. All right. Next one. Spotify or SoundCloud?
Oh, Spotify.
Spotify it is. All right. Last one. Game of Thrones or Endgame?
Oh,
Oh.
bro. Oh, why are you gonna do me like this?
Ooh. This one's tough.
Oh, um, man. I'm gonna have to lean just towards Endgame, just slightly. I'm wicked pumped for that movie, dude.
All right. All right. This has been the Palette Talks podcast with me, Jason, with Raven Rapid. Do you have any message you want to share before we ending this?
Peace and love. Be good to each other. Enjoy good music. Be kind, and that's it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, dude. It's a pleasure.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in the podcast up until this moment. Don't forget to smile. Don't forget to have a good day and spread positivity wherever you go. See you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.